method. Now into that method, we pass the event related properties by using $event, and we can access. Now important, if any event have to emit some values, not getting the values, then this must be marked as, we have to mark it as output. We have to mark it as output. If you are collecting the value, then it is input. And if you are emitting the value, then it is marked as output. That means now how do we manage this? The filter component, how we can handle that filter component. Let's see, now filter component requires a custom event. That means in filter component, when we are changing, I need to collect that value and emit that value. Then what we have to do is, we have to create a event. How to create your own events? In filter component, I want to create an event. Then here I will define public event name, that is filter category changed. That is the event name. You can give any name. Filter category changed. How Angular knows that this is an event? For that, we have to import. We have to define this as a type. It is of type event emitter. It is of type event emitter. We have to tell that it is of type event emitter. Actually, this event emitter, it is of type event emitter. It is an event emitter, and it is generally event emitter is also present in Angular core library only. So that means here we are using event emitter. And suppose I remove this, right? I will add this event emitter. So we have two event emitters actually. One event emitter is available in the Angular core, right? In the Angular core. So from the Angular core, we are using an event emitter, right? And this event emitter should emit a value. This event emitter should emit a value. That means what type of value it should emit, you have to tell. This event emitter should emit a string value. It should emit a string value. It can emit any type of value, string, boolean. Currently, we need to pass the category name. Then it should emit a string value. Means you need to configure as new event emitter. It is of what type? String type. We have to allocate the memory for that, like this. So this is how we have to create a custom event. So every event will use event emitter, but it can output different value. Some events will send Boolean value. Some events will send string value. An event emitter can emit any type of value. That means now you know that this is a generic type, right? It is a generic type. So you know that now filter category changed is an event that emits string. When it should emit a string, this is important. We created an object, event object. When this should emit, when user is changing this drop down, that means what we do is we write an event here. Public category changed. Category changed is the event. When this category changed event will fire up, it will fire up when user is changing this drop down value. That means on change, we will call a function category changed. That means when user changes the category, this category changed function will fire up. This category changed function should emit this event. It should emit that event with value. Now this event should be accessed in parent. Now currently, in order to make it accessible outside, then you have to mark it as @output. So we have to mark it as output. Output is also present in the same Angular core. Event emitter, output, input, all are in Angular core. That means now this is marked as output. When category changed, it should emit this event. That means this dot filter category changed dot emit. It should emit which event and which value it should emit. It should emit the selected category value. Now here we have one more challenge. So that means we need to collect the selected category value. We need to collect this selected category value. How to collect the selected category value? What value they selected, we have to collect it. For that, we need one more property then. Then I am creating another property, public selected category name. This selected category name, initially I will give as all. Okay. I will bind with this drop down. That means I am using two-way binding ng model, and I will bind selected category name. That means whatever the value they selected here, that value will be stored inside this. And this value should be sent. That value should be sent there. That value should be sent here. That value should be sent here. That means filter category changed. That value should be sent here. Then what we do is it should emit this dot. So the selected category name. It should emit the selected category name. It is emitting that selected category name. So that means that selected category name have to come here. Selected category name have to come here. That selected category name have to come here. And when user selects that, based on that, the filtering should happen. So first, the basic thing you have to understand is filter category changed. Filter category changed is an event. It is a custom event. This event will emit value. What type of value? String. When to emit that value? That you have to decide on category change. When category changed, this will emit the value. When category will change, when user is changing the category inside the dropdown, the event will fire up. So this event will fire up. Change event will fire up. Change is a predefined event. On change, you are sending a custom event. Now our component is having an event called filter category change. Filter category changed is an event. Let's go to the products component. In the products component, app filter is our component. Now this component can use the filter category changed event. Event binding means we use parenthesis. That means it can use filter category change. On the change, we need an function. That means now this component on change, we need a function. On change, we need a function. We have to collect that function. We have to send this. This is having the category name. We need to pass that into this. That means app